Himalayan art is filled with different symbols, motifs, patterns, hand attributes, um, just a menagerie of different animals, real and imagined. It's just a tremendous amount of images and subjects and basically just stuff. So we've already talked about the publications by Trayap Rinpoche, Buddhist Symbols in Tibetan Culture. Um, he has two versions of that. He has a longer version and a slightly shorter version. He deals with the seven precious possessions of a universal monarch, the eight auspicious symbols, those types of topics. Now, a much bigger book, and really only the second book that I can really think of. There's Trayap Rinpoche with his two books, but then we have the Encyclopedia of Tibetan Symbols and Motifs by Robert Beer. This book came out, I believe, in 1999 out of Shambhala Publications, and it's really kind of monumental, and it is truly encyclopedic in terms of the breadth and the number of subjects that Robert covers. Now, two things going on with this publication. Robert Beer, he wrote it, but he also drew it. So all of the symbols, all of the animals, the attributes, everything is done by Robert Beer, who is in his earlier life a professional draftsman. So he's a trained and skilled artisan and artist. Now, the book is very large. It has a number of chapters. What are those chapters? He deals with landscape elements in the beginning, flowers and trees. Chapter 3 is animals. Chapter 4 is narrative subjects. Narrative subjects is interesting because that's dealing with depictions that you might find on the outside of a Buddhist temple wall, where you have the monk climbing a path, almost a spiral path going upwards, with an elephant and a rabbit and a monkey, and this has to do with calm abiding and shamatha. So that's what Robert means by narrative. Then we have cosmology, tremendous amount of art and visual subjects for cosmology. Then we have gestures, hand gestures, seven precious possessions of a royal monarch. We have the eight auspicious symbols, the eight auspicious substances, the 5 offerings of sensory enjoyment. Then for chapter 9, we have peaceful offerings, which are very different from the next chapter, which is really wrathful, dealing with all types of wrathful attributes, such as swords and vajras and spears, all kinds of things like that. Then we have really the Torma offerings. So we're going to the more abstract, wrathful offerings, and the fire ritual and the symbols that pertain to that. So now, the Encyclopedia of Tibetan Symbols and Motifs is a large version. Now, from this publication, then there is what's called, I believe it's a handbook of Tibetan symbols and motifs. And I'm sorry I don't have it with me, but it's a smaller version of this. But the most complete one is this full hardcover, the Encyclopedia of Tibetan Symbols and Motifs, Shambhala Publications, 1999, Robert Beer. This is really a must-have if this is your interest. And Robert goes into tremendous detail also in the text in trying to describe these things. Now, a lot of it is described from a Drukpa Kagyu point of view because Robert Beer, some of his main experts that he would consult were in Tashijong in northern India. So that's Kamtro Rinpoche's people in Biri at Tashijong. So we'll leave it there. You can press like, you can subscribe, you can join HAR on Patreon, and you can make a donation on the homepage of Himalayan Art Resources.